DeWittDailyNews.com.
DeWittDailyNews.com is the area's leading local news source 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the latest local news, obituaries, police splatter, weather forecast, and more with no paywall. Head to DeWittDailyNews.com to get the local information you need to know.
From the Hart Media Group newsroom and DeWittDailyNews.com, I'm Ben Hubbard with this expanded morning newscast. Good morning, and thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Ben Hubbard. You're listening to the WHOW Morning Show. The Clinton YMCA has released its end-of-year data for 2025. On the WHOW Morning Show Monday, CEO Rennie Kluver told the Hart Media Group that not only does the Y membership continue to grow, but they also continue to see excellent participation in their programs.
You know, as the year goes, I rarely have a time to stop and really analyze, because it's, one thing to the next, and we're just keep plugging away on our mission and our impact. And so when I'm able to sit down at the end of the year and go through all of our numbers, it's nice to be able to look at it and go, gosh, it's more than, it's just, because sometimes it's mind boggling of the impact that the Y has in our community. And so just some numbers I wrote down to share with you guys today is, in 2025, the number of program participants that we had. So this could be some repeats. Well, let's take, like, say your kids, if they were in soccer and Y Zone, that's 2 participants. Mm-hmm. They're one person, but so total number of participants, all of our programs was 4,519. Also, this one is just, really blows me away. So in 2024, if you come into the Y and you're a member, you scan in, so it shows that you had a facility visit. Mm-hmm. In 2024, we had just over 34,000 facility visits from members. Mm-hmm. And now that could be you coming in 3 days a week. It's going to count you 3 times. But from our membership, we had 34,000 plus scan in. And that does not include all the people that come through during Reindeer Classic, our swim meet. Those people aren't members. There's over 700 people that come through there. Or if I just did a pre-K basketball clinic on Saturday, and none of those kids scan in. Those parents don't scan in. And so it's, kind of gives you the amount of foot traffic. Now in 2025, we had over 38,000.
Wow. Really?
So what that tells me is, one, our membership is increasing. So obviously that's part of the numbers, but the importance of health and wellness in the community. And that just always is exciting, because we've talked about it. If I could bottle up that desire to have a health and wellness plan, and if I could sell it, I would. Just becomes routine.
For Kluver, he seeks out data that shows the impact of the Y, from how many zip codes are members of the Y to how much money they put back into programs for kids, families, and nonprofits.
We have probably just over 2,200 members, which is awesome. Out of those members, with those facility visits, there's about 1,300 members that are extremely active. And that says a lot to our community and people that are just in the zone, right? And understand that. And it's neat to see that the Y can be that place for them. And a couple other statistics too, as far as the Y, and we've talked about this, we are a non-for-profit. And at the end of the year, we're just hoping to be not below in the red. We don't have all this revenue that we can just spend on whatever, but we also, being a non-for-profit, a 501c3, we give back. And there is several things that the Y does that I don't even keep track of, as far as letting groups use the community room. If they're a non-for-profit, we don't charge them. Or the school using it for programming. And that collaboration with the school and us is great, because they don't charge us to use their facilities either. But we gave out over $130,000 in membership and program scholarships.
Wow. No kidding.
And that's where Strong Kids helps. Our goal every year is $100,000. If we get that, so there's still a $30,000 we got to make up.
Mhm.
And so
I was thinking it was 50, but 30.
so that's, yeah,
30
and
is
it
cool too.
varies. You know, one year, like last year, maybe we gave out 122,000. Just depends on the year.
Sure.
And then just programming. So let's, kids to take swim lessons and be on swim team and to do soccer and basketball and all the other programmings that we have was just under 20,000 that we gave in scholarships for that. It's great to be able to do that, to show the impact, to give those people an opportunity, those kids an opportunity to be at camp or at Y Zone. And so looking at those numbers, it just, that's what we're there for. And that just really helps solidify the impact, and that we are so much bigger than that little facility.
Kluver touts the Y's commitment to keeping the facility affordable. While they did raise memberships this year, he points out that those increases in recent years have not kept up with the increased costs that the Y has seen. Additionally, it has been several years, but the YMCA also eliminated the sign-up fee. Visit ClintonComYMCA.org or visit their facility on South Alexander Street in Clinton to learn more. Local outdoor authorities are reminding boaters and fishermen of a portion of Clinton Lake that is annually closed off until the end of March. Department of Natural Resources Conservation Police Officer Noah Workman indicates that the area of the lake from the Route 48 bridge to the DeWitt Bridge is closed off until the end of March. He reminds this is something that happens every year because that area of the lake is a refuge area for fish.
You got a lot of fishing still going on the bridges, the 48 DeWitt Bridge. I've been out and about. I mean, you're seeing up to 20 vehicles up there and countless people fishing the shorelines. I just like to put the reminder out that area between the DeWitt Bridge and the Route 48 is still closed. I believe it's March 31st is when we're going to reopen, when it gets reopened. So they close it every year, mid-October to end of March it's a waterfowl refuge area. So it's restricted. It's a restricted area. There's no fishing, no boating. You could walk the shoreline if you really wanted to, but as far as playing in the water is a no-go. It's a $195 ticket. We've kind of lost discretion as far as enforcing that rule because of the amount of people that are still going in there on a consistent basis.
According to Officer Workman, this change is not new to the lake, but they continue to encounter frequent visitors to the park who should know better, disregarding the notices about fishing in that restricted area.
It's been going on for a while. I've been in this district now 5 years. I believe it's 5 years this year. Every winter and early spring, it's a constant. When I'm doing my rounds, I'm constantly looking in the same spots where we're getting consistent people that'll go in there and fish. So it's nothing new. I have noticed a lot more traffic this year than I have in the past as far as people doing it. And that's where I think the discretion on my end has kind of just been, I don't know what else to do. I could sit there and write warnings all day, but it's not, the point is not being driven home that this is not where we're supposed to be. And you'll get a mixed bag of people that are from out of state that might not know. And I got a little bit of leniency with people like that, but you got locals that grew up here and they've fished here for 20, 30 years of their life. It's just deliberate. Or like the resident, we get a lot of Chicago residents come down. They know the rules. And it is. And I was talking with the other DeWitt County officer, Jeremy, the other day, and he'd noticed that people were, driving off road and going around gates just to go fish down by the Weldon boat ramp. And it's a deliberate disregard in some instances.
Officer Workman reminds that the area of the lake reopens on April 1st. Visit dnr.illinois.gov for more on fishing in Illinois. Through an Illinois Pork Producers Association contest, a Champaign County establishment is home to the state's best pork tenderloin sandwich. Jeff Buckler is owner of Buford's Pub in Sedoris.
It's just hard work and dedication, a lot of it, but we make them almost every day. We made 500 yesterday. But it's you trim the pork, make sure you get all the fat off, and then you cut the size you want it. We run it through a tenderizer and tenderize it, and then we soak it in buttermilk and egg, and then we pull it out and we season. We season it and then soak it, and then we pull it out and we run it through cracker meal and seasoning, and roll it out with a with a roller and freeze it and send it on down the road.
Buford's Pub features hand-built tables, a large outdoor deck and bar, live entertainment, and a menu anchored by its signature giant pork tenderloins. It's Girl Scout cookie season. Jennifer Sedbrook, who was hired as the CEO of the Central Illinois chapter in 2024, says they are launching a new cookie this year.
This year, we have 9 cookies, including our new one that you mentioned, Explore More. And I love the name of that because it really reflects what Girl Scouts do. They explore through camps, they explore themselves, they explore new skills, things like that. So we're really excited about that new cookie, and that's been flying off the shelf.
To find out where a Girl Scout will be selling near you, visit getyourgirlpower.org. Sales run through March 29th with proceeds benefiting local Girl Scout programs. Get news anytime from your computer or your mobile device at DeWittDailyNews.com.
AgriTalk is the radio talk show for American agriculture. Hi, everybody. I'm Chip Flory, your host. We join you weekday mornings from 10 until 11 on WHOW, on AM and FM, and on the WHOW streams. We provide farmers and ranchers with timely insights and information aimed at improving their operations. Join me, Chip Flory, weekdays at 10:06 on Central Illinois Ag Station, WHOW.
With the stuff that's in the air that's causing many folks discomfort, the Warner Hospital and Health Services walk-in clinic inside our family medicine clinic is just the ticket. CEO Paul Scourin here. No appointment? No problem. Don't need one in our walk-in clinic. Come to the Warner Hospital walk-in clinic and get feeling better. Just another way we provide quality care close to home.
Warner Hospital and Health Services, your healthcare provider of choice.
Now there's one web portal for local agriculture radio programming in Central Illinois. IllinoisFarmRadio.com. Local farm programming streamed live and archived to hear anytime. IllinoisFarmRadio.com. Hear the morning and noon farm shows with local agriculture news and interviews. IllinoisFarmRadio.com. Plus hear all of your favorite agriculture farm shows, including RFD Illinois, AgriTalk, RFD Today, and the Closing Market Report. IllinoisFarmRadio.com. It's agriculture grown locally, streamed live, and archived to hear anytime. IllinoisFarmRadio.com. A service of the Miller Media Group.
Wellness starts with prevention. Book your annual appointment online today with SIU Center for Family Medicine in Lincoln by clicking their icon on DeWittDailyNews.com.
DeWittDailyNews.com is the area's leading local news source 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the latest local news, obituaries, police blotter, weather forecast, and more with no paywall. Head to DeWittDailyNews.com to get the local information you need to know.
From the Hart Media Group Sports Desk, IL Sports Wire, and DeWittDailyNews.com, I'm Ben Hubbard with this local sports report. Knight Heiss hit a go-ahead three-pointer, and Taman Lipsey came up with an offensive rebound in the final seconds to cap number 6 Iowa State Cyclones rally in a 70-67 victory over Big 12 leader and second-ranked Houston Cougars on Monday night. Heiss was 3 for 3 from three-point range hours after sister Taylor Heiss scored to help the U.S. women's Olympic hockey team beat Sweden 5-0 to reach the gold medal game in Milan. The Cyclones improved to 23-3 and 10-3 in the Big 12. They closed with a 17-4 run to take down the second top 10 team in 3 days. Iowa State topped number 8 Kansas 74-56 on Saturday. The Cougars fall to 23-3 and 11-2 in the Big 12. They had their 6-game winning streak snapped, and their conference lead was cut to a half game over number 4 Arizona heading into their matchup Saturday in Houston. Iowa State is third, a game behind Houston. Heiss hit a three-pointer from the left corner with 1:17 to play to give the Cyclones a 69-67 lead. Houston had 2 chances to tie or take the lead, but was called for a shot clock violation with 43 seconds to play. Then Chris Senick Jr. missed a shot with 4 seconds left. Blake Buchanan was fouled after rebounding Senick's miss, but missed the front end of a one-on-one, and Lipsey, though, got an offensive rebound. tapping the ball back to Joshua Jefferson, who was fouled with a second left. Jefferson made his first free throw for the final margin. Jefferson led Iowa State with 12 points. Heiss had 11 and Buchanan had 10. Kingston Flemings led Houston with 22 points. Emmanuel Sharp had 16 points, all in the first half. Milos Uzan had 11 points. Houston hosts number 4 Arizona on Saturday, while Iowa State is at number 23 BYU on Saturday. Cameron Boozer had 22 points and 12 rebounds to help number 3 Duke Blue Devils rout the Syracuse Orange 101-64 on Monday night. Isaiah Evans scored 21 points. Nicholas Kaminia added 14 points off the bench, and Patrick Ngungba and Caden Boozer each had 12 for the Blue Devils, who improved to 24-2 and 13-1 in the Atlantic Coast Conference. They looked primed for a weekend non-conference showdown with top-ranked Michigan. Duke shot 62.3% from the field, including 12 for 20 from three-point distance. Boozer shot 8 for 10 from the field and finished with the 14th double-double of his freshman season. William Kyle III scored 12 points, and Nate Kings added 10 for Syracuse, who falls to 15-12 and 6-8 in the ACC. They failed to carry the momentum from back-to-back victories for the first time since winning 3 straight in January. The Orange were slowed by 41.3%, 26 for 63 shooting from the field, and 37%, or 10 for 27 from long distance. Syracuse didn't surpass its season low of 59 points until a minute and 21 seconds remained in the game. Duke reached the 100-point mark for the 4th time this season and the first time since November 21st. The Blue Devils have won 3 straight games since their last second loss at rival North Carolina on February 7th. The Blue Devils made a variety of dunks and lay-ins while hitting 13 of their first 14 shots in the second half, while stretching their lead to 74-45. They shot 9 for 12 in the second half from three-point distance. Duke used an 11-0 run to end the first half for a 40-24 lead at the break. The Blue Devils shot 51.7% before the break. Syracuse was at 32.2%, including 4 for 16 from distance. Syracuse will host number 16 North Carolina on Saturday, while Duke faces number 1 Michigan in Washington. Denny Hamlin has a plan for improving racing at Daytona International Speedway, and it involves going faster. He has already spoken to NASCAR executives about it too. Hamlin shared his idea for fixing the Daytona 500, which has become a fuel mileage event since the debut of the next-gen car in 2022, with everyone else after celebrating his first victory as team owner in the Great American Race. The latest iteration of NASCAR's stock car is a safer version of anything previously seen in the series, but it also delivers slower laps at super speedways like Daytona and Talladega and leaves cars bunched up like never before. Hamlin met with NASCAR earlier this week and discussed letting teams devise a racing package they could test during the exhibition clash if it returns to Daytona next year. If it works, the tweaks could potentially be rolled out before 2028. Reddick's crew chief, Billy Scott, was less confident that the fuel mileage strategy would be altered. With the evolution of the Cup Series car creating little chance of manipulating parts and pieces, teams now rely more on making stops on pit road on race day. They put new tires on less often and try to save fuel by running less than full throttle. The end result is a scenario that takes less time to fill gas tanks during stops, but it also can create lulls in the early and middle parts of race stages. Lindsey Vonn is back home in the U.S. following a week of treatment at a hospital in Italy after breaking her left leg in the Olympic downhill at the Milan Cortina Games. The 41-year-old Vonn suffered a complex tibia fracture that has already been operated on multiple times following her February 8th crash. She has said she'll need more surgery in the U.S. 9 days before her fall in Cortina d'Ampezzo, Italy, Vonn ruptured the ACL in her left knee in another crash in Switzerland. Even before then, all eyes had been on her as the feel-good story heading into the Olympics for her comeback after nearly 6 years of retirement. Get highlights of your local high school program by finding IL Sports Wire on your preferred social media platforms, and get local sports anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com.
On the hunt for lost ROI? Chart a course and find hidden profit potential with Acuron Corn Herbicide. It's the only herbicide strong enough to bury competing weeds and help you unearth 5 to 15 more bushels per acre. How's that for hidden riches? Uncover the real value of Acuron at Acuron-herbicide.com. Acuron is a restricted use pesticide. Always read and follow label instructions.
Here's Hart Media Group owner Matt Hart talking about being in front of our audience on multiple platforms.
This what we call the second screen, right? It's the phone, because now we don't watch television one screen at a time. We're constantly watching two screens. You might be watching the University of Illinois football game on Saturday on your big screen, but you've got your phone there. And when a commercial comes on or a timeout comes on, you're watching that second screen. And we want to make sure that we're positioned to be on the second screen, whether it's social media, we want to be there.
Hart purchased the Miller Media Group in Clinton in August of 2025.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks. Ace now offers free assembly and free delivery, so it's never been easier to get a great grill for your family, like a Weber gas grill, a Traeger wood pellet grill, or a Big Green Egg charcoal grill. Only at your neighborhood Ace. Around the block. What you need in stock. With people who know their grills.
This is Brad from Gibson Ace Hardware in Clinton, Illinois. Stop in to see us, the helpful place at 114 North Madison Street, Clinton.
See participating store for details.
Here's Clinton Save-A-Lot owner Dave Jackson on how he works to save you money every day.
I watch the Decatur market very carefully. I stay under these, supposed low-price chains, and I make sure I'm under them. So anybody that's rushing to Decatur or other towns to buy commodity items like flour and sugar and milk and eggs and things that matter are fooling themselves. We are cheaper or as cheap on all the items that matter, and I make sure of that.
And as Dave always says,
hope to see you soon.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason in Washington. U.S. and Iranian negotiators are holding a second round of talks mediated by Oman in Geneva. The U.S. is pressing for a deal on Iran's nuclear program. Delegations from Moscow and Kiev preparing for another round of U.S. brokered talks. The fourth anniversary of the Russian war in Ukraine approaches. His family says Reverend Jesse Jackson died this morning. He was 84. 3 people, including the gunman, are dead. A shooting at a high school hockey game in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. 3 people are in critical condition. Jill Biden's former husband, William Stevenson, set to enter a plea in Delaware. The charges of killing his current wife. On Wall Street this morning, stock futures pointing to a lower open. The Dow futures down 154 points. NASDAQ futures off 239. The S&P futures down 35 points. More details, srnnews.com.
From Lionsgate and Kingdom Story Company.
I Can Only Imagine by Mercy Me, one of the most beloved songs of all time.
I mean, what did you think was going to happen? You're just going to ride off into the sunset, no more struggles or pain?
Comes the highly anticipated I Can Only Imagine 2.
God is in fire, and it is beautiful.
Imagine what God can do again. I Can Only Imagine 2 in theaters this Friday. Rated PG. Parental guidance suggested.
This month, Pure Talk is honoring Jackson and Lincoln by offering unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data for just $25 a month. Meanwhile, Big Wireless is honoring Ben Franklin by charging families hundreds of dollars for the same 5G coverage. What? Franklin wasn't even a president. Hang on to those Benjamins. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and save 50% off your first month. That's pound 250, Mike Rowe, to switch to an American wireless company that's truly unprecedented. Pure.
From the Hart Media Group newsroom and DeWittDailyNews.com, I'm Ben Hubbard with this local news update. Local outdoor authorities are reminding boaters and fishermen of a portion of Clinton Lake that is annually closed off until the end of March. Department of Natural Resources Conservation Police Officer Noah Workman indicates that the area of Clinton Lake from Route 48 Bridge to the DeWitt Bridge is closed off until the end of March. He reminds this is something that happens every year because that area of the lake is a refuge area for fish.
You got a lot of fishing still going on the bridges, the 48 DeWitt Bridge. I've been out and about. I mean, you're seeing up to 20 vehicles up there and countless people fishing the shorelines. I just like to put the reminder out that area between the DeWitt Bridge and the Route 48 is still closed. I believe it's March 31st is when we're going to reopen, when it gets reopened. So they close it every year, mid-October to end of March it's a waterfowl refuge area. So it's restricted. It's a restricted area. There's no fishing, no boating. You could walk the shoreline if you really wanted to, but as far as playing in the water is a no-go. It's a $195 ticket. We've kind of lost discretion as far as enforcing that rule because of the amount of people that are still going in there on a consistent basis.
According to Officer Workman, this change is not new to the lake, but they continue to encounter frequent visitors to the park who should know better, disregarding the notices about fishing in that restricted area.
It's been going on for a while. I've been in this district now 5 years. I believe it's 5 years this year. Every winter and early spring, it's a constant. When I'm doing my rounds, I'm constantly looking in the same spots where we're getting consistent people that'll go in there and fish. So it's nothing new. I have noticed a lot more traffic this year than I have in the past as far as people doing it. And that's where I think the discretion on my end has kind of just been, I don't know what else to do. I could sit there and write warnings all day, but it's not that the point is not being driven home that this is not where we're supposed to be. And you'll get a mixed bag of people that are from out of state that might not know. And I got a little bit of leniency with people like that, but you got locals that grew up here and they've fished here for 20, 30 years of their life. It's just deliberate. Or like the resident, we get a lot of Chicago residents come down. They know the rules. And it is. And I was talking with the other DeWitt County officer, Jeremy, the other day, and he'd noticed that people were, driving off road and going around gates just to go fish down by the Weldon boat ramp. And it's a deliberate disregard in some instances.
Officer Workman reminds that the area of the lake reopens on April 1st. Visit dnr.illinois.gov for more information on fishing in Illinois. Get news anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com.
This is staff meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with your regional radio forecast. Slight chance of rain showers today, otherwise cloudy skies expected. Daytime highs approaching 60, winds out of the south 10 to 15 miles per hour. Cloudy skies expected again tonight, slight chance of rain showers, lows dip down to about 52. Hear weather twice an hour or online anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com. Currently 43.
Here's Matt Hart, owner of the Hart Media Group in Clinton.
It's been great. You and Ben and the entire team are doing a great job. And we're just continuing on serving the local community, right? This is what this is all about. We're here to serve our local community. We're here to tell the local stories. We're here to cover the news. So nothing in that regard is changing. Our goal is connecting people. And that's our tagline at Hart Media Group. It's connecting people.
Hart purchased the Miller Media Group in August of 2025 and looks forward to serving the community for years to come.
You wouldn't shave half your face. Oh no. Or chop down half a tree. So why leave weeds half finished? Cairo herbicide from Corteva Agriscience delivers complete control with a novel triple action premix formula, the ultimate application flexibility, and season-long protection against tough weeds. Cairo herbicide, going all the way is the only way. Visit Corteva.us/complete.
Hello, I'm Dr. Seuster with Covenant Animal Clinic. We're thrilled to sponsor the Adopt a Pet page on DeWittDailyNews.com. Simply look for the icon beside the masthead and you'll discover all the lovable cats and dogs at DeWitt County Animal Shelter, hoping to find their perfect family. While you're there, you can even complete an adoption application right online. Please help us share the message about these wonderful animals who are ready for a loving home. After all, a happy pet is a healthy pet.
Our local hospitals are the heartbeat of our communities, delivering critical care every hour of every day for everyone, training the next generation of caregivers. Beyond the walls, their benefit to the community is everywhere, driving the local economy and supporting local organizations, initiatives, and neighbors. Illinois Hospitals, healing communities. Learn more at team-iha.org. Sponsored by the Illinois Health and Hospital Association. Aired in cooperation with the Illinois Broadcasters Association and this station.
When it comes to connecting with America's farmers and ranchers, nothing beats the authentic voice of Ag Radio. Farm broadcasters have been the voice of rural America since 1944, building trusted relationships with agricultural producers across generations. Today, the network of over 140 Ag radio stations reaches farmers and ranchers during their most productive hours when they're actively working their operations and making business decisions. What makes Ag Radio uniquely effective? Farmers listen to farm broadcasters for information that directly impacts their livelihood. When your message is delivered alongside crucial weather updates, market reports, and agricultural news, it receives the same attention and credibility. Farm Radio Connects offers agricultural advertisers targeted access to this engaged audience through professionals who understand both broadcasting and agriculture. According to the National Association of Farm Broadcasting, 78% of farmers consider information from farm broadcasters highly trustworthy. When you need to reach rural America effectively, choose the voices they already trust. Visit IllinoisFarmRadio.com and discover how Ag Radio can elevate your agricultural marketing strategy.
You're listening to a best of segment of the WHOW Morning Show, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Again, this is a best of the WHOW Morning Show. WHOW. Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube. Brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. My guest on the phone today is Jack Myers with Social Security. Jack, good to talk to you, my friend. How are you today?
Yep.
Sorry.
I'm here.
Oh, awesome. Sorry about that. I thought I put you through. That's my fault. How are you, Jack? You doing all right, my good man?
Doing well, thanks. How are you, Seth?
I'm good. Thanks for making time for us, as always. Good to have you on the phone with us. And I'll tell you what, Jack, let's dive into Medicare Part B. If I'm not mistaken, Medicare Part D enrollment just wrapped up, and now it's off to Medicare Part B. Is that right?
Yeah, so, at the end of each calendar year, Seth, there is an open enrollment period for Medicare that starts in October and goes into December at some point. And, that's more of an open enrollment period for those who, like you said, are enrolled in Medicare Part D and want to switch to a different kind of drug plan, or maybe you're enrolled in Medicare and you're looking at an Advantage plan and you want to get signed up for a different one of those to be effective with the new year. So yeah, you're not wrong. You're on the right track. There was an open enrollment period at the end of last year, as there is most, but now in the beginning of the year, we're shifting to like you said, Medicare Part B, as in boy, and that's an open enrollment period. We call it the general enrollment period for people who were not previously enrolled in Medicare Part B and now want to get in. You have that window or that opportunity from January through March of each year, and you can get signed up. So it gets confusing for folks, but it is an important window to be aware of. And if you're wondering, generally speaking, Medicare Part B, as in boy, is the portion of Medicare that's going to cover outpatient doctor visits. It's got a standard monthly premium of $202.90 this year. And for a lot of people, you probably got signed up for it at age 65. If you didn't sign up for Medicare Part B at age 65, or maybe you're on Social Security disability and you're not yet 65, but you are eligible for Medicare and didn't take Part B, now would be that opportunity to do it. You're in the general enrollment period, January through March, and you can get signed up if you want to. The way that it works, if you do a general enrollment period, is the coverage becomes effective the month after you enroll. So if you do it in February, you'll get it in March. If you do it in March, you'll get it April 1st. And then once we get outside of March, that general enrollment period is over, and you'd have to wait until next year's if you missed it and you didn't qualify for any other type of enrollment period.
Gotcha. And I know, Jack, we've talked about this in the past, but folks who are already receiving Social Security benefits and they're, prior to age 65, they're automatically enrolled in this. Is that right?
Yeah, so that's a great point. And, Seth, I think there's a lot of confusion from people on what to do around Medicare. As you get to that age, what do you do? When do you enroll? So you raise a good point. If you are collecting a payment already from Social Security, as you approach age 65, you will be automatically enrolled into Medicare Part A, which is going to be your hospitalization insurance. And if you're getting a payment from Social Security, the Part A is going to be free. Most folks will get the Part A for free if you've got enough credits paid in or you're married to somebody who does. And then that enrollment is automatic into A and B if you're already collecting a payment. It happens about 4 months or so before the month you turn 65, and the coverage would become effective the first day of the month you turn 65. But if you're not yet collecting a payment from Social Security, that's when you have to do something to get enrolled in Medicare. So what you'd want to do if you're wanting to get signed up in Medicare at 65, if you're not getting a payment yet from Social Security, you have to apply for Medicare with us at Social Security. And you can do that through SSA.gov. So if you go to our website, SSA.gov, you can do an application for Medicare only. Even if you don't want to start your monthly Social Security payments yet, you can do an application for Medicare only. You'd want to do that in most cases during what's called the initial enrollment period. And that's going to be the 3 months before the month you turn 65. That enrollment period actually extends to 3 months after you turn 65. But if you do it in the 3 months before you turn 65, that's better because the coverage can start the month you turn 65 as opposed to the month after you enroll. So best case scenario there, you do it in that 3 months before. But there are scenarios, Seth, where people might not want to do that. And typically those are going to be if you are still working and you're covered by your employer's group health plan and it's going to stay primary for you, or maybe a spouse is still working and you're covered by their group health plan, you may decide not to take the Medicare at 65 in that scenario, because down the road, whenever you lose that coverage or you stop working, you would qualify for what's called a special enrollment period. And